Jack the Ripper, the mysterious serial killer whose identity has long remained a mystery.
DNA from a shawl recovered at the scene of one of his crimes has incredibly found a 100% match.
The Jack the Ripper case is officially closed. That's not clickbait, it's a scientific fact. After 137 years, DNA evidence has confirmed his identity. We are going to reveal the name, the science, and the story. But what nobody tells you is how this man, a known and violent individual, was allowed to roam free and how the police knew about him. The evidence points to one person, and it's not who you think. This changes the entire legend. The 137-year-old clue. The story of the final reveal begins with a shawl said to have been found at the scene of the fourth slaying Catherine Eddowes. For decades, this artifact was passed down, dismissed by many as a fake. You see, it was just one of many so-called Ripper items floating around. But in 2007, an author and amateur sleuth named Russell Edwards bought it at an auction. He was convinced it was real, and he was willing to bet his reputation on one final, desperate attempt to solve the case using technology the Victorian police could only dream of. Edwards tracked down Dr. Jari Louhelainen, a world-renowned expert in genetic analysis from old, degraded samples. This wasn't like a fresh TV crime show. This was a piece of silk that was over 120 years old, contaminated by countless hands, by time, and by the elements. Getting anything from it would be a miracle. Dr. Louhelainen got to work. He and his team focused on the stains. Using advanced techniques, they carefully extracted the genetic material that was left. They were looking for something called mitochondrial DNA, or mtDNA. Here's what you need to know about mtDNA. Unlike regular DNA, which is a mix from both parents, you only get mtDNA from your mother. And she gets it from her mother, and so on, passed down in an unbroken female line for thousands of years. It's tough, it lasts a long time, and it's the perfect genetic time traveler. The first test was to see if the shawl was even real. The team found a living descendant of Catherine Eddowes' sister. They took a sample and compared it to the DNA from the bloodstains on the shawl. It was a perfect match. The shawl was real. It had been at the scene, soaked in the victim's blood. But then they found something else. Mixed in with the victim's DNA were other trace samples, including semen. This was it. This was the perpetrator's genetic signature. The team found a living female line descendant of a suspect's sister and tested her. Again, it was a match. After 137 years, the science pointed to one man. And it's not who you think. It wasn't a prince, it wasn't a doctor, it wasn't a famous artist. His name was Aaron Kosminski. The name might not ring a bell, but to the police in 1888, it was at the top of their list. This wasn't a new suspect, this was the man they always thought it was. Aaron Kosminski.